If you are currently on Magento 1, Magento 2, or any Magento version, and you're trying to migrate to BigCommerce platform, you've come to the right place. At Optimum7, we've done thousands of migrations away from Magento and into different platforms. Now, we do this level of replatforming a little different than our competitors. We don't import any kind of CSV files or Excel files. We don't use a lame software to transfer the data. We use API. We pull all the details of your products, customers, orders through API from Magento, and then we validate that through our systems, and we import it into BigCommerce, again through API, so that we can validate all of the data. It doesn't matter if you have 1,000 products or 1,000,000 products or 1,000 records or 1,000,000 records, all the data is validated through API. This is incredibly important because this means that you are not going to run into any kind of bugs, errors, URL issues when the migration is completed. We migrate your products, your product options, your customers, your orders, the custom HTML pages that you might have on your site, the custom functionalities like search and filter or any kind of product configurator you might have on your site. And if you don't have a search and filter, we will recommend an AI search and filter for you. The objective is not just to migrate everything, it's to optimize your website so you have a better website when you're on BigCommerce. Your conversions are better, your engagement is better, your KPIs are better, and the return on your investment is better on a BigCommerce platform. And the last step, which is incredibly important, but a lot of agencies drop the ball when they do this kind of work, is 301 redirects. It's incredibly important because your URL structures are going to change, your category, your product URLs are going to change. You want to make sure that you have the right infrastructure so you don't lose any SEO rankings, you don't lose any SEO authority, and every single page that's valuable on your Magento platform is migrated and 301 redirected into your BigCommerce platform. Watch the rest of this video to see at what level we handle a replatforming project like this one.
This documentation shows migration from BigCommerce to Shopify, but it's essentially the same documentation that we've created for all the different platforms. The steps might change, the details might change, the API might change, but the process remains the same. So if you look at the BigCommerce to Shopify process here, as you can see, we have database commands, we have migration commands, and we have the entire URL structures and everything because different platforms have different URL structures and the different special characters, limitations. There are so many exceptions, right? Not only that, if you look at our GitHub account, on GitHub, we have done these migrations before. So we have full code on how we validate the products, the customers, the orders, how we tie them together, how we process HTML if you have HTML on your product pages on BigCommerce that need to move over to Shopify. Now, BigCommerce and Shopify manage options and variables differently, right? There is actually some sort of limitation on Shopify with your options, where you cannot have unlimited options. So we validate all of this information through our code because we've done this thousands of times. And if you look at this, you'll see all kinds of migration processes here. And every single piece of code basically makes sure that we validate this information through the API. This is not an export-import of a CSV file. You cannot do migration for a website that does millions of dollars annually through an automated software. The software is not going to validate any of this. Now, if you want to look at the documentation, there's a more detailed documentation that we have here. It has all these types of manual links. It has the different exceptions based on, what you can do on BigCommerce, but what you cannot do on Shopify, vice versa. Again, character limitations, the special characters, the errors that you might have. And we do all of this through our process here. As you can see, this is a very, very detailed execution. Why do we do it this way? Because it's very important that you don't lose organic ranks and you don't get 404s, because your traffic is going to drop, your sales are going to drop. It's very painful. We have a lot of prospects that used automated software and the migration did not go well and they didn't work with an expert, and they come back and they're like, well, we lost 50% of our traffic, we lost 60% of our sales. So you don't want that to happen to you. The last thing is, if you actually, again, go to Optimum7.com /migrations page, you will see, let me show you that really quickly. You will see a detailed checklist that you can download here, the 125-step platform migration checklist. And that checklist looks like this. It will help you throughout the process, the platform selection, the planning, the actual migration, the storefront, the backend, the checkout, the data, the integration, and anything that has to do with the marketing, social media tracking as well. I strongly suggest that you download this because it will help you plan your entire migration process. Now, of course, we want everybody to do their due diligence. Whenever you do this kind of migration, look at examples, look at case studies of whomever you're going to work with. I'll show you some from Optimum7. We migrated RC Superstore. It's the site that we worked on. Specialist ID, Good Counsel, Tease to Your Door, Echo Enclose. And if you actually look at this, like what happened after the migration process, I think we migrated this site in 2016. I think we migrated this in 2017. You'll see the database growth in terms of organic visibility. So their metrics have actually improved because whenever you do a platform migration, you want to go to a speed and mobile first website, and you have to pay attention to the mobile usability metrics, and you have to make certain improvements to design. And from a conversion standpoint, you have to implement certain functionalities like search and filter. And this is all an effect of that because Google pays attention to how because everybody has analytics, Google pays attention to how your users and your customers interact with your website. Okay, so do your due diligence definitely to go through the process, but this is very, very important. Please make sure you do the 3.0 and redirects properly at the end. That's one of the most important aspects of this. You don't want to lose your ranks. You don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose the authority that you've worked so hard to build. And if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.
I hope that this video was helpful to everybody out there who is currently on the Magento platform and you're trying to migrate to BigCommerce. If you have any questions about this process, please comment below or reach out to us at Optimum7.com and we will be happy to guide you in the right direction.